if you think about your life that way and you are somebody that enjoys video games or gaming or progress or anything like that, then the challenges that we face in life seem to be a lot more fun. It's less about the struggle and more about overcoming it. All right, what is going on? Welcome to the Risen Fallen podcast. I am your host, Mark Henriksen, and if you are brand new to this show, then what you can expect is open and authentic conversations about things like mental health and self-development and how to get your life moving in the right direction. If you're not feeling good about where you are right now, if you're not feeling good about the person that you woke up as or where you woke up today, then at least having the confidence knowing that you're getting one step closer to the life that you'd like to lead every single day. And if you're not new to this show, then thank you very much for coming back, supporting the show, supporting the journey, supporting the cause, supporting the idea of making yourself 1% better every single day, and along the way lifting other people up as well. That is what you can expect. And so welcome to the show. Like I said, I'm Mark Henriksen. If you want to connect, if you want to reach out, please reach out to me on Instagram. It's @RisenFallen. And just want to drive home the fact that, we all fall down together, we rise back up, and that is the idea or the notion behind the name Risen Fallen. And so, welcome to the show. Happy Monday. It is, what day is it today? The 11th, Monday, December 11th, and we are cruising to the new year and the Christmas holiday season time. I hope that you guys are doing well. I know that for myself, the last month of the year, December, tends to be one of those months where I end up reflecting a lot. I end up thinking about the last 12 months, the last year, how I spent those months. Some of the things that I reflect on are obviously some of the wins that I've had, some of the things that I'm proud of, some of the things that, I throw in my cookie jar, so to speak. Shout outs to David Goggins, talking about that cookie jar of wins, things you can dig back and reflect on and think about how far you've come, some of the wins that you've had, some of the achievements that you've made, and some of the skills that you've developed, some of the things that you really think of yourself as proud of or confident about. And so obviously, the positive side is something to be reflected on, and then there's also the negatives. There's also the negativity. There's the mistakes that we made, the things that we feel guilty about, the things that we feel shame about, the things that we aren't really proud of, the things that we could have done better, should have known better, but for some reason we didn't. And those negative emotions and those negative events are just as worthy of reflecting upon, because every single one of those is a lesson. And so, sorry, I had to take a sip of my coffee there for a second, but so the point I'm trying to get across today is, especially during December, I've always made episodes talking a little bit more about reflection and a little bit more about goal setting, how to end off the year that we're currently in, and how to start off the new year that we're finding ourselves moving into. And this year is no different. That's where my mindset is at right now, doing a lot of reflection, doing a lot of journaling, a lot of reading, a lot more yoga and meditation. But yeah, just trying to be a little bit more mindful. And so one of the things that I've been thinking about recently, and I've talked about this before on the podcast, is this idea of like a character selection screen. And so I know a lot of you guys out there probably played video games at least once or twice in your life. And, for me, I grew up playing a lot of role-playing games. I was always obsessed with the role-playing games. I really liked like Skyrim. I really liked a lot of different games. I got into World of Warcraft. I got into a lot of different RPGs. And one of my favorite things about role-playing games was this character selection screen, like being able to customize and select your character, change the attributes, change the skills, change the appearance, change the starting point, your home location, etc., whatever it could be. Every single little piece of this personalizing process was something that I really I really cherished, and it's something that's very nostalgic for me as I look back on some of the video games that I used to play and some of the games that I find myself revisiting. And so the idea of this character customization or selection process is kind of cool because it translates into our real life. And, obviously there's a lot of things in this world that you can't choose. You can't choose your gender. You can't choose your race. You can't choose your color of your skin, the color of your eyes, the color of your hair, etc. You can't choose. There's a lot of things that you can't choose in this life. But just like an RPG, just like a role-playing game, a video game, which I'm sure a lot of you guys are familiar with, there's a lot of things that in life that translate a lot to this idea of character selection or character customization process. We can choose the type of lives that we live. I don't know if you guys remember back in the day, I think it was GTA San Andreas, like in the video game, you could even choose to go to the gym to improve your virtual character's physique and make them look more jacked. And this was kind of the epitome of what I'm trying to talk about, is like, you can choose the appearance of this character that you play in life. You can choose not to be an NPC. You can choose to think freely for yourself. You can choose to be more athletic if you want to be more athletic. You can choose to be more frugal with your money and save up a little bit more and start stacking your chips. There's a lot of ways in life that this character customization process from video games translates exactly into the lives that we lead. Do we want to boost our skill points? Well, that's going to mean training and grinding. You're going to have to do the things that boost the skills that you're looking to gain, and so if you view yourself as like this character customization process, if you just were to sit down and think about the character that you'd like to play as in life, if it was a giant RPG, you can think about all the things that you desired your character to have, and you can start off by crossing off all the things that you can't control, like where you were born, what you were born as, etc. And you can start to focus on some of the things that are customizable. What would you like your hairstyle to look like? What would you like your physique to look like? How muscular would you like to be? How lean would you like to be? How athletic would you like to be? How, what does your relationship look like? What is your present location look like? What is like? Where do you live? Where do you work, etc.? You can start to customize this character that you'll play through the real life game, this RPG that we all find ourselves in. We're all playing this role, and so you can kind of choose what that is, which is beautiful. And the other cool thing that I always found enjoyable sometimes about video games is like being able to play through the video game, learn a bunch of lessons, learn a bunch of skills, learn a bunch of secrets, learn a bunch of, maybe Easter eggs or shortcuts and some of the mistakes that you've made and not to make those things again. And at the end of the game, once you beat it, sometimes one of the most fun things about video games is to be able to start a new game and refresh it, maybe at a different difficulty. And sometimes what I find is the better we get at a game, the more difficulty we want to add. And so when we start a new game and we hit refresh, we start off at a higher difficulty. We make it more difficult for ourselves and we wipe the slate clean. And that's kind of what starting a new day or a new week or a new month or a new year is really like. You can kind of wipe the slate clean. You can start, think of today as the day one. And just like a video game, you can start to think of, some of the challenges that you have, even if you can't wipe the slate clean on some of the mistakes you made or the challenges that you face. Think of it as day one. You're starting day one on a video game or as a role-playing game, and the character is you, and you've set yourself up with a higher difficulty on purpose because all of the skills that you've developed from playing it the first time around, all of the discipline and all of the attributes that you've acquired, and you're wiping the slate clean. You're starting off with 0 items, 0 friends, 0 things, but you have this drive, you have this want, this desire to complete the game and to complete the side quests and get as much work done as you possibly can and get as far to 100% completion as you possibly can, starting off fresh with a clean slate on the highest level difficulty. If you think about your life that way and you are somebody that enjoys video games or gaming or progress or anything like that, then the challenges that we face in life seem to be a lot more fun. It's less about the struggle and more about overcoming it. And so that was just kind of one of the things that's been on my mind recently about being able to wipe the slate clean every single day and start off with, some day one mentality of like, okay, if I woke up today and it was the first day of my new life, what would that look like? What kind of character would I like to be from here on out? And live accordingly to that. And so just one of the things I've been thinking about recently, I thought I'd share that with you guys as we start off this week. Short and sweet little 10-minute episode, it looks like today. I'm feeling good. I hope you guys are doing well as well. If you're not doing well, you want to talk, feel free to reach out. Like I said, it's at Risen Fallen on Instagram. And if you're watching this on YouTube, if you're listening to the podcast version of this, make sure you rate it 5 stars, leave a little review. Like, comment, and subscribe, interact. I love interacting with you guys. And so on that note, I will check in with you guys on Thursday. Very stoked for this new year, and I hope you guys are as well. Much love and peace out, you beautiful human beings. I love you all. Bye.